You still have your period, you don't have any hot flashes, hence you're not in perimenopause. And that is the biggest myth, lie, false statement, whatever we want to call it.
In this podcast, the theme is midlife, and it's something you took on as a mission to really prepare women when they get into midlife, support them through midlife. And my first question to you is there a hormone that women like 35 plus should really obsess over? And
that's a great question to start with, because it's not the one most people would think to look at, and it's honestly insulin. And let me tell you why. Insulin plays a role in metabolism, inflammation, and a lot of women in their mid-30s can start having inflammatory reactions going on a cellular level that can lead to insulin resistance happening, and they don't realize it. A simple glucose or, or a hemoglobin A1C isn't going to pick it up. Okay. And the way it presents in these women, they start gaining that middle body weight that they can't shed, and they get frustrated with it. And they're like, I'm working out, I'm eating the same, everything's fine, I just can't shed the weight. And they become more restrictive, more cardio, things like that, which actually worsens the situation. So there are better tests that can be done actually at that point to see if there is insulin resistance happening on a much lower level, where they can then address it appropriately. So they would need something called a HOMA-IR, which is a glucose insulin, fasting glucose, fasting insulin calculation that shows you if it's elevated, if that ratio is elevated, then there is some background insulin resistance already happening. And by changing some lifestyle, making some lifestyle modifications with the foods that you eat and things like that, you can actually help prevent prediabetes and diabetes 10 years earlier than it would be picked up on a hemoglobin A1C.
What is the biggest lie that women still believe about perimenopause?
I get this, I don't know how many times a day, where I have women sitting in front of me and they've been told, you still have your period, you don't have any hot flashes, hence you're not in perimenopause. And that is the biggest myth, lie, false statement, whatever we want to call it, because hormone fluctuations are in the background. The period changes, those do not need to be a component of perimenopause. They typically aren't. They're not the most common symptom of perimenopause. They're more common with menopause or late perimenopause. In early perimenopause, which can be a good 10 years prior to menopause. So now we're talking mid to late 30s. These are women who are still, fertile technically. They can have a regular cycle every month, not skipping any periods, not having a single hot flash. Yet they can be full-blown perimenopausal and not even realize it. Because the symptoms are completely night and day different. One of the most common symptoms that women are dismissing of themselves as well, sleep disturbances. They're not sleeping at night. They're waking up, and they wake up in the morning, in the middle of the night, 2, 3 a.m. They wake up in the morning unrefreshed, yet they have a slew of things to do. They have kids to get ready, take to school, drop off, get to work, come back, do after school activities, then, make dinner. They're not thinking about what is happening to themselves. In your 30s, if that's really what's happening, I would go for muscle building. You need that muscle. That's what's going to carry you through, because muscle is a metabolic organ in and of itself, right? It helps with insulin balance. It helps with cortisol. It helps keep you strong, keeps your bones strong, and it's good for metabolism. And also testosterone plays a role in muscle as well. So if you're going to do anything, the most proactive thing I recommend to my patients, I'm like, start building muscle in your 30s. 2 to 3 days a week of strength training. But again, with somebody who knows what it is that they're doing, don't just go to the gym and start lifting heavy and doing deadlifts, because you're going to hurt yourself.
What do you recommend any woman should test for before her 40th birthday?
Before the 40th birthday, I would say definitely you need a full blood work panel, all that, but I really love my DEXA scan, my bone density.
Going back to the bone density.
Back to the bones,
Yeah.
because based on recommendations by the U.S. Task Force, we don't check a bone density till 65.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
By
That's
65, we're
unbelievable.
behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
If you don't have osteoporosis, you definitely have some kind of osteopenia by that point. So
Yeah.
too little, too late. So I've actually moved that. It's not a recommendation by anybody, but me, based on my own, research and knowledge that I have, and based on what I've seen in my practice. Just by doing this over the last 2 years, I have picked up 40-year-olds with osteopenia setting in already.
Wow.
Where had I not done it, she's like, why did you do this test on me? I said, because I wanted a baseline. Because if it's perfect, then great. I will do lifestyle modification, supplementation, do all of that, and then, repeat it at 50, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have found more than I would have liked. So 80%, I would say what I see is they don't feel like themselves. Their quality of life, everything has changed and shifted to the point that they don't recognize themselves. And I feel terrible saying this, but they're at their wits' end. I'm like their last
Yeah.
resort. They're like, I had a woman drive down to see me from, I want to say 2-3 hours north, almost by like Orlando area, had been dismissed by, I don't know, a slew of doctors over the years, 7 years of struggling with symptoms that have worsened.
And how old is she?
She was 43.
Wow.
Okay.
That's so sad. That's exactly what we said. It's such heartbreaking thing to know that these women are out there seeking help. And
You know what gets
dismissed.
better is she didn't want to come because she told her husband, what's the point? She's going to say the same thing everybody else has at reputable institutions, and I'm not going to get anywhere. He drove her down. He said, you know what? We're going to go no matter what. I want you to go. Let her say the same stuff, and then at
that's
least
the modern romantic
for sure.
Or he couldn't take it anymore. you know?
But isn't this is like the highest, the one of the peak times people get divorces, like when women hit their perimenopause, and if the husband is not aware that this is not his wife gone crazy and he needs to go look for a new one or whatever.
By the way, I meant he couldn't take it anymore that every doctor tells her the same. But sure, yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah, that too.
That too. It's a little bit of both. It can happen both ways.
I know we always look at things differently. But yeah, anyway. So that was still very admirable that he drove her down and he was like, no, we're resolving this for you. It makes me like want to tear up.
No, but it was an impressive situation to see this happening. And, I spoke with her first, obviously, and I'm like, so tell me what's going on. And she gave me her whole story. And I looked at her, I said, and this is what we're going to do about it. And she started crying because she said, you're the only one that told me that there's something to do and that there's nothing wrong with me because the last provider wrote in her chart needs a psychiatric evaluation.
Okay, let's go to some of the rapid fire questions. That,
Okay. We always wrap up the episodes with the rapid fire. Okay. What is one thing women blame on aging that is actually fixable?
On aging, I think it's weight gain.
Like that they wake up in the night?
No, weight gain.
weight gaining.
The gaining the weight, the midlife, in the middle tire that they call it, or the meno belly they call it
like
now.
that they give up on being in shape because they're older.
That also, and also the fact that now what used to work doesn't work anymore. So they used to do more cardio and eat less.
Yeah.
And they want to continue doing that regimen. And unfortunately, it backfires in midlife because of the high cortisol and inflammation. You're only going to kind of get
Skinnier,
more.
fatter.
You're going to get fatter. So it doesn't work for them. So they get, they kind of give up on it. The skinny fat. Exactly.
Okay. What is your hottest take on hormone replacement therapy?
My hottest take on that is in the right patient at the right time, they should start it definitely in perimenopause and not have to wait till they're in menopause to begin.
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. Okay.
That's hot.
What is one thing women should start doing in their 30s if they want to age well in their 50s?
they need to really pay attention to their lifestyle, minimize the alcohol, improve their sleep habits, minimize stress and toxic relationships, really, and listen to their body and their cycles and learn what their body's trying to tell them.
And build muscle.
And muscle up,
You
obviously.
see, I learned well.
Yeah. No, you passed the test. Well, I think that's a beautiful wrap up to this episode.
Yeah.
You're such a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for coming.
So I have a couple questions. So first of all, how can people work with you? And then I don't know if you
Where
want to
can
talk
they
about
consume more of
the
your
online
information?
educational platform.
So thank you both for having me. It was so amazing to meet you both, a few months back, and I'm glad we've kept the relationship going and conversing and seeing each other at other events. And this was amazing. I loved this. You can find me on social media at my Instagram, Dr. Gila Senemar. The website is Gila MD. That's where they can sign up to be, looked for as a patient and find an appointment there. And in terms of online platform, education coming, launch will be in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is going to be, by the time this is out, it's going to be launched.
We're gonna be launching. Yeah.
So that's what we should do. We should we should air it when it's launched, so we can have it linked in the show notes.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
how do, so
So
people
keep me posted.
I
Send
will
me that
definitely
link.
keep you posted. Yes.
But do you have any information as to like what's going to be called? How do you, what's...
There's going to be an Instagram page for it. It's going to be Second Bloom Health. And we will have all of that information on social media, and I will pass it along to you as well.
Amazing.
I
So
love
that's
it.
going to be in the
Second
show
bloom
notes.
health. I want to bloom.
You want a second bloom too.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's going to be in the show notes, and we're going to make sure to link to it. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.